This is Elijah. Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. I'm just having a little bit of technical difficulty, so I'm going to need a couple more minutes. Going to put that interlude back on, but I will be with you shortly. All right, we're back up and running. Let me know if you can hear me okay. But most importantly, we're back. Football is back, and Roy Hodgson is back. And I think this is a really good opportunity for Leicester City to get back into the swing of things, to start to pull our season back, get clear of the relegation zone. I'm optimistic. I hope you're optimistic. We're going to get into the details on it soon, though. It's Crystal Palace versus Leicester City. It's a watch-along. Won't you join us? Yes, good morning from Canada and welcome to Leicester Fan TV. My name is Elijah. Thank you for joining me today. My apologies for the technical difficulties early on, but we've got about 10 minutes to kick off. We've got our lineup information. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. I'm going to be most likely flying solo today for the commentary, so keep your comments coming in. Let me know what your thoughts are for today's game. We can talk score predictions as well. I'm already seeing Craig, you're saying in the chat that it will be a City win today. Let me get those lineups up on screen and we can talk about them. Just give me one quick moment. Because I think one of the most important things that we've seen is that we have more players available to us than we first thought. Victor Christensen stays in the lineup despite a knock that he picked up before going out on international break. We return to Brendan Rodgers' favorite 4-2-3-1 formation, but I feel this is a really strong lineup. Perhaps our weak point might be Castagna starting instead of Ricardo Pereira, but I feel really good about this lineup, particularly against a Roy Hodgson Crystal Palace team. Adel saying a 1-0 Leicester City win. I'm honestly, I've just mentioned it in our group chat that we have for the Leicester City supporters. I am really overly optimistic today. We'll get into score predictions in a little bit more of in a little bit more detail in a moment, but very few changes to the Crystal Palace team that we faced earlier in the season. Edouard and Elise come in, and that's really the only change that we're seeing from a Crystal Palace side that was led by Vieira in that match. Now, of course, Roy Hodgson is back at Crystal Palace, and that is what gives me the cautious optimism. We're obviously not in the best of form lately. However, we have seen season over season that this team performs well against Roy Hodgson. We did well when he was at Watford. We did well when he was at Palace. And I feel like, especially given some of the comments that we've been hearing in the media lately, that these players recognize the situation that we're in. It's really starting to hit now that we're at a point where if we lose this match, we are most likely going to end up in the relegation zone by the end of this match day. I think we're going to come out 3-1 or 4-1 winners today. I'm prepared to be proven wrong, but I'm really coming into today optimistic. Paul, lovely to see you tuning in. Craig saying 2-1 City with 2 goals for Pats and Daka. So I think that is also a little bit of a weak point in our lineup. We've called that out every time Brendan chooses it, but the fact that we're playing only one player up front is always a little concerning because they always end up getting less service than we want them to get, and that it seems to be a bit of a downfall for us because even when we were still performing well, it was always a factor that we were going to concede. We just had to score more than we let in. Are we going to do it with one striker, and are we going to do it when that one striker is Patson Daka? Get your thoughts in on that. I'm not fully sold on it. I know I predicted a very high scoreline. I'm still optimistic. I don't necessarily think all those goals are coming from Daka, though. I think we're going to see a lot of play coming in from the wings. I think we're going to see a lot of ambitiousness from James Maddison in that center midfield role. I think we're going to be seeing a lot out of Barnes, Tete, and Maddison. We don't have too much on the bench either in terms of replacements for that attacking midfield because of the fact that KDH is going to be starting in that central midfield role, a little bit more defensively for him. Realistically, if we do find ourselves needing a goal late game, we're probably going to be relying on Iheanacho or Vardy. I would prefer Iheanacho out of those two on form at the moment. Perhaps those could give us the opportunity for a change of formation as well. But again, I'm still just optimistic. There's just something in the air today that makes me feel like we're going to come out with a win. Graham, you're in a pretty similar place that I am. I feel like we're going to get goals, but I feel like they are going to come from the midfield. I like Patson Daka. I really want him to succeed, but he just hasn't sold me on him lately, particularly on his recent form. He's done well in his last match. However, is he going to be Vardy's successor? That definitely remains to be seen. Now, I did also see on Twitter that we know the way that records have been broken all season for us. Crystal Palace are, I believe, if I recall correctly, winless since the end of 2022, winless at home since October. Are we going to be the gift that keeps on giving, though? I just don't think so today. We've got 4 minutes left. I'm actually going to cautiously pop the link into the chat. If any of you would like to join me and share your thoughts in these last few minutes before kickoff in South London. Otherwise, again, keep those score predictions coming in, who you think is going to score. Like I said, I think it's going to be a very high-scoring affair. I think we're going to get 3, maybe 4 goals today, but I think they're almost all going to be coming from the midfield. I could back Daka to get 1, but I don't see him scoring multiple today. Happy to be proven wrong on that, though. The commentators are also mentioning that Brendan is tinkering with the team here. I'm not necessarily convinced fully by that because I don't consider it a full Brendan tinker unless he's willing to really mess with his formation. Switching to maybe a 5 at the back or a 3 at the back, something that maybe works a little bit better for the flow of these players. The 4-2-3-1, we've been trying that a lot this season, and I'm not convinced by it because again, we've dropped some pretty cheap points at multiple occasions throughout this season, and it's all come down to a lack of adaptability. And I attribute a lot of that to the formation because it's not like we haven't rotated players by hook or by crook. We've done it because we've had to or because we've just wanted to tinker with the team and see what happens. Michael, he's not going to be joining me as a co-host today. However, he is going to be in amongst the Palace supporters in Seattle. You told me you were going to be going to a bar, really taking the keg and egg to the next level. Paul, I'm not going to back out. Come on. I know we've mentioned it. I'm not even going to entertain the idea of relegation because if we do, I'm not going to be able to watch the games anymore. But no, I'm not going to stop wearing the fox on my chest. I've been to the stadium twice. I've seen 2 games live, and if you know how much it costs to get from Canada to the UK, you know that I'm not going to just switch teams. Pappy Mendy, I mean, I love the guy, and he really has put in a good run over his last few games. I think, if I recall correctly, he was a little shaky in his most recent outing, and we know that Brendan does rotate a lot based on form, particularly in training. So I think there might be some reasoning in that as to why Ndidi is starting. We also know that Brendan really has his favorites. Morning. So yeah, I also realized it's quite early. It's going to be almost 7 o'clock for you guys in California, almost 7 for Michael as well in Washington State. So always good to see you guys getting up bright and early, even earlier than me. Let's get battered everywhere they go. But yeah, I'm not leaving. And then Fee, lovely to see you tuning in from North London. And Graham saying a 3-0. I would love a clean sheet today. I'd love it. 2 for Matters, 1 for Nacho coming in off the bench. So not favoring anything for Patsy there. I'm not overly surprised by that as well because, again, wrong banner. That's a leftover from, I believe, when we were playing Brendan. There we go. That's the banner that we're looking for because we are probably about a minute away from kickoff now. Lineups have come up, and I'll tell you what. So I rely on lineups that I can see online to build those lineup graphics. The BBC had Crystal Palace lining up in a 4-3-3. Right now, the broadcaster that I'm watching from here in Canada, Fubo, has them at a 4-2-3-1 on screen. So they have Zaha and Elise sitting further back in behind with Eze, allowing Odsonne Edouard to be the sole striker. But who cares about formations when we can take a look at Michael? Michael, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing awesome. Kegs and eggs and a little cup of Java. I don't know if you guys can see me here. My score prediction, 3-1. Palace gets battered everywhere they go. It's the kickoff. At the pub here, we got a bunch of Liverpool fans. They're all feeling really bad because they got smashed by Man City today. Hey, it's so funny. Look, even the bartender. But, coffee, kegs, eggs. Michael. Cheers, y'all. Back the boys. Palace gets battered everywhere they go, and I'm out of here. I love you guys.
Blue by the end of this match, Michael. See ya. All right, and then so Leicester City are lining up with the 4-2-3-1. Ricky P is on the bench, so it wouldn't surprise me if, again, just kind of trying to ease him into things. We know that Brendan does really like Castagna as well, so I think that's a possibility that it could just be Brendan making Brendan choices, but yeah, we do have Pereira available to us on the bench. So Yunshu also makes his way back into the matchday squad. I know it was kind of thought that we wouldn't really be seeing him again, but chance for him to come off the bench. It's slim, I know, but he's there. And there we go. Roy Hodgson is back. Now, again, I think this is what is giving me the most optimism coming into it because I love Roy Hodgson as a person, for like what he's done to the game of football, for the dedication that he's shown to Crystal Palace as a club. I mean, the man's been managing since I'm pretty sure the 1980s. Just like a stalwart of the game. But we do well against his teams. We did well against his Crystal Palace sides. We did well against his Watford sides. I'm really, really optimistic because Roy is back at the helm. Now, at the same time, though, I think he is the right appointment for Crystal Palace right now. They need somebody who isn't going to need any time to get settled into the Crystal Palace camp. They needed a change because of their run of form. They were pretty much sliding down the league toward relegation. I think it's basically a little bit of a mutual compromise. He's not going to need any time to get the players rolling the way that he wants them to, but all they've done is hire the last manager that they've sacked. So I think that this will come at the expense of a new manager bounce, which is also why I'm optimistic that we're going to take the win today. And we have kicked off officially. Crystal Palace kickoff. If you're going to be watching at home, I'll give you some timestamps in a couple moments once I'm sure that I have it up on my screen. If you're watching at home, as Leicester City are going to be attacking to the left side of your screen, Palace attacking to the right, and it's an early Palace attack coming forward right now. He's looking for Eze in the center. He finds Zaha, who shoots, and it's blocked early on. Kieran Dewsbury Hall making that block with his feet. Played out wide, though. And a big tackle from Harvey Barnes. No foul given, but that might be because it's advantage. Eze on the ball right now. Chips it over. Cross comes in, and that will be collected by Iverson. Early attacking prowess being shown there by Crystal Palace. A good passing play. They got around our midfield pretty well, but a pretty solid back line, either in terms of shots blocked or just making sure that those key passes can't find their players. Selhurst Park obviously rocking right now for the new manager. New manager, old manager, whatever you want to call him. George tuning in from Zambia. Patson Daka in the lineup today. I'm sure you're going to be hoping for some good results from him today. Victor Christensen concedes a free kick. Taking down Elise on the wing with a shoulder barge. A little push in the back. We're feeling fiery today. And yes, I believe Brendan said in one of his press conferences that he's going to be giving Iverson a few games. It's harsh on Danny Ward, but at the same time, we have to try something in order to improve our defensive record. We've been leaking goals. Ward hasn't seemed confident. The problem with doing this is that this is going to be even worse for his confidence, but at the same time, this is the Premier League. If you can't perform at the highest level week in, week out, you're not going to keep your place. And George backing Patson Daka for a brace today. He did quite well at the international break. If I recall correctly, I believe he scored a brace against the Gambia. Camera just showing Roy Hodgson on the sideline. I remember seeing a graphic, I think Sky Sports put it out. The three oldest managers in Premier League history were Roy Hodgson at Crystal Palace, Roy Hodgson at Crystal Palace, and Roy Hodgson at Watford. So again, just a real testament to how much Roy Hodgson clearly just loves football. Slavic saying Crystal Palace has not won for 12 games in a row. Leicester will win that game. A lot of us seem to have been feeling pretty optimistic about it. Big sliding challenge. I think that was by Timmy Castagna. Breaks down the Palace attack. And Wilf Ndidi does well to keep that ball from going out for a corner. And it goes out for a throw-in instead. Early attacking momentum with Palace at the moment, but nothing too dangerous yet. Just showing former Fox Jeffrey Schlupp in amongst the players in the penalty area. Again, Selhurst Park absolutely rocking right now. Palace player is dispossessed, but Ndidi, I believe that was, can't hold possession. Long cross comes in, but that's high and wide of the net and out for a goal kick. How about that, though? Jono is feeling optimistic. Jono, good to see you tuning in. And totally fair. I mean, it's good to not just go in with blind faith, but it makes me even more optimistic to see that you are optimistic for this match. Because I know you're very, very realistic when it comes to your Leicester City predictions. A little bit of tussling in the midfield at the moment. Crystal Palace maintaining possession by going all the way back to Guaita. Although a bit of a misplaced pass trickles by Guaita, but it would have gone wide of the net anyways. No risk of an own goal there. But a little breakdown of communication amongst the back line. Wilf Ndidi puts a very high boot in to intercept a lofted pass from Palace. Tries to regain possession for us, but the ball pings around and goes off of Dewsbury Hall for a throw-in. Anderson plays the ball back to Guaita, and they will pass the ball around the back. Gahey to Anderson. Ward and Mitchell playing further up the field. Play switched up towards Zaha. Up against Tete. Tete puts a good poke tackle in, but Zaha maintains possession. Makes a quick pass to Schlupp. Back and forth. It's Schlupp in the penalty area. Low cross blocked by Wout Faes. But Palace maintain possession. It's Zaha. Plays it back. Elise loses possession but regains it. Elise on the outside of the penalty area. He tries to play a cheeky pass to Edouard, but it's intercepted. And Leicester City back in possession. That's a very good call, David. Crystal Palace have a lot of big players coming forward. Ward, Zaha, I believe Elise is pretty tall as well. Very, very fair that might be why indeed he's playing. Edouard in the penalty area lays it off for Zaha. His shot's blocked as well. Gert Singh, very optimistic here, giving a 4-1 prediction. Eze passes it. Quick one-touch pass by Elise. Finds Eze again. Trying to get past his men. Passes the ball over. It's a shot by Doucouré, but that's blocked. Dave saying not long before we're behind. Palace are really throwing a lot at us at the moment, but they haven't really made a genuine threat yet. And we know that this team likes to counterattack. We like to pass it around, hold possession, invite pressure, and then try to play up and over through lines. So, and I feel like this is why we do so well against Roy Hodgson teams. It's not necessarily that he's a bad manager right now. It's that it plays into our hands. Stats at the moment are not favorable to us. They're just showing touches in the opposition box, 9-0 in favor of Crystal Palace. But as long as we don't concede, we can counterattack well with this. Ball bounces around. It's a shot from Doucouré and an excellent ground level save through the crowd by Everson. I thought that was going to go in for a moment. A very, very good low shot through the crowd by Doucouré, but Iverson does well to track, drop the ground, and get his hands behind that. No parry given. He holds on to that ball. Lobs his gold kick long. Look at Daka. Intercepted though. So again, this is kind of coming out for what David mentioned. We're definitely the worst team in the air at the moment, as Palace just have that height advantage in most of the positions across the pitch right now. Ooh, and that's bad. Gahey and Madison collide. Both teams both players in a fair bit of pain on the ground. Ivan's saying that he's placed a relegation bet on it being Leicester, Bournemouth, Southampton. I don't think we're going down. I still don't think we're going to be relegated. Both players back on their feet. Bournemouth and Southampton, I don't think are a bad shout. Honestly, I think Everton are going to be the third team going down at the moment. Sean Dyche does well, but especially right now with what's coming out about the potential points deduction for them this season. You're not wrong, Ivan, though. This is a very, very important match as Palace come forward again. Wilf Zaha up against Castagna. Gets his cross. Hooked away by Christensen. A wild shot there from Anderson, and now Leicester City can look to counterattack. Patson Daka. Passes to Tete. He's forced to turn around. It's Gooseberry Hall now. He's forced to turn around. And we're back to Wout Faes. Faes goes all the way back to Everson. Yeah, I can see why people think we're going to get relegated, but I don't have that belief yet. I'm still optimistic. I mean, I'm trying to think of the last time a team was deducted points in the Premier League, and you're right that it has been a very long time, but the fact that they're expediting the judgment is what makes me think that there could really be a points deduction in play here. Throw-in is taken. Christensen trying to get through the lines. He does. He maintains possession, passes to Ndidi. He goes back to Dewsbury Hall. Oh, Patson Daka nearly collects the ball in a good attacking position, but his first touch is a little too heavy. The ball goes to Barnes, though. Excellent layoff for Christensen. He lobs it in. Oh, I thought that ball crossed the line for a second. It really looked for a moment to me like that that ball had just drifted over the line at the near post off the cross, and that Christensen would have gotten a goal for Leicester City there, but looks as though that may have just been the depth perception playing a trick on me, and Palace do clear their lines. Very, very dangerous, though, for Leicester City, though. Good opportunity for us. Oh, it hits the post. It hits the post. Victor Christensen nearly gives Leicester City the lead, but it does hit the post and it remains 0-0. But again, I think that was a very good example of the fact that we counterattacked very well there. Long ball looking for Harvey Barnes. Will find him, but deep in the corner. He's up against Ward here. Lays it off well to Christensen. Back to Barnes. Back to Christensen. Dewsbury Hall. And we go all back to the back line. Across to Dewsbury Hall. He's tackled by Eze, and it's out for a throw-in. Yeah, apologies, Graham. Canadian broadcasters are just always a little bit behind. I find I'm normally about 30 seconds or so behind the UK broadcast. But if any of you would like to get synced up, I'm at 11:55, 56, 57 if you have the opportunity to pause either the stream or your broadcast. Free kick just off of the center circle for Crystal Palace. 12 minutes into this game. While they set up for that, I'm going to take a quick look at the other scores as many matches are being played right now. Free kick is taken, and it's out on the wing to Elise. Ward. Back to Elise. Eze. Ooh, really tussles with Dewsbury Hall there and gets through and breaks into the penalty area. Low shot and a good low save from Iverson again. Does really well to get a hand of that. Still coming forward, though. It's with Elise. And his shot's blocked by Vufas, and that'll go out for my camera couldn't actually show it, so I'm not sure whether it was a throw-in or a corner. All right, so for scores around the horns, Bournemouth, Fulham 0-0, Forest, Wolves 0-0, Palace, Leicester obviously 0-0, Arsenal, Leeds 0-0, and Brentford are 1-0 up at the Amex against Brighton. Looks as though it was a throw-in that came to nothing, and it will be a goal kick to be taken by Iverson. Cheers, Graham. Much appreciated. Commentary is always made better by you guys keeping your thoughts coming in as well. I don't have someone in the booth with me to sort of riff off of, so keep your thoughts coming in, and I will do my best to address as many of them as I can. The Leicester City pass coming forward is intercepted, and now Palace look to come forward, but it's a poor pass by Gehi there, trying to play a through ball, and it will go out for a Leicester City throw-in. Fair enough. Google scores are a little out of date. Andreas Pereira has scored for Fulham at the Vitality Stadium, and it is 1-0 to them. That's good for us. So 3 very good chances thus far in the in this match. 2 for Palace, 1 for Leicester City. Unfortunately, hitting the post, it won't count as a shot on target. Or ball that was looking to find Patson Daka there as well, intercepted, but we retain possession. Dewsbury Hall threads it in, and Daka just can't get there ahead of Guaita. It's very, very close there. Yeah, they really... Anderson really leaves a wide open space for Patson Daka to run into, but the pass is just too far. Honestly, it may have just been good closing down by Guaita. I'm not really sure if he played the pass any shorter that Daka would have been able to get to it either. Ndidi puts it out of play for a throw-in. Palace coming forward. Elise cutting around the outside of the penalty area. Chips it over, finds Zaha with a fair bit of space. He can't get past Dewsbury Hall, can't get past Castagna. And that's out for a corner kick. Yeah, I know a lot of people want to give Patson Daka more time. Iheanacho's had his share of form, but neither of them are really consistent enough for what we need, especially in this kind of relegation scrap. Corner comes in. It's headed on by Suter, pinging around the penalty area, hooked away from goal by Ndidi. Palace will regain possession, though. Eze, lofted ball, headed away by Suter. Mitchell on the ball now. Out wide, Elise. Playing on the opposite flank at the moment. We'll also make clear anytime my camera does that, I'm still here. It just has to reboot every 20 or so minutes. Iverson has been doing very, very well. 2 key saves early on in this match. Jono's saying they're going to score any minute now. They've been pressuring very well. I'll admit that they're doing better than I first expected at the start of the match. Hodgson really seems to have them firing. Tete commits a foul on Zaha there. Palace will play the free kick backwards. Goes all the way to Anderson. Switch play up to Ward. Eze gets tackled. Ball cleared. Elise keeps it in play. Hanging around in the air at the moment. Schlupp gets barged down. Advantage played. Zaha breaks into the penalty area. Takes a shot. Blocked by Iverson again. And then Barnes gets fouled by Ward, and that's a free kick to Leicester City. George, we haven't had a lot of attacking opportunities. Palace have really controlled the midfield very well. So I'd say it's pretty similar to a lot of our recent matches. Like, they're not doing well, but it's really because they haven't had the chance. Simon saying we're being absolutely battered, lucky to not be 2-0 down. I think absolutely battered's a little harsh. We have been the worst team so far today. Touches in the opposition box, 20-2 in favor of Crystal Palace. We do need to get more stuck in. Christensen gives the ball away. Ndidi regains possession in the center circle and fast plays it back to Everson. Jonathan saying same old Leicester. We haven't been inspiring yet. Christensen. Fast. Reward. Everson. looking for Zaha, who gets barged down in the penalty area and nothing given. And Dewsbury Hall goes in hard into the back of Eze there. Patsandaka up against Anderson. He gets around him, and Anderson shoves him over. George, you gotta stay optimistic. And honestly, like here in Canada, things could be way, way worse. Eze on the ball now in the midfield, gets past his two. Ndidi sticks a really high boot in there, but makes no contact with the ball or the player. Breaking into the penalty area, shot by Doucouré is blocked, and then shot by Zaha is blocked. And it's a corner kick to Palace. We're really affording Palace a lot of space here. Way too much space. Palace trying to appeal for a handball against Madison, but they're not going to get anything for that. Oh, they are checking it. Dewsbury Hall they're appealing against. He keeps his arms tucked into his body. I think that would be very harsh if that goes to a penalty. It won't. Corner kick. Headed away. Off Eze's back. Schlupp takes down Madison. Free kick. Madison's been pretty quiet so far today as well, and I think that's a big difference maker on top. It hasn't been great by us so far. I'll say that. Not inspiring. I think my 4-1 was a little too optimistic. Through ball finds Dewsbury Hall in a lot of space. He's dispossessed though. Two defenders come in very quickly. I think it was Ward and Anderson, and they get him dispossessed. Tete on the wing gets taken down. No free kick, and Palace can now look to counter. Zaha on the ball. Tussles with Ndidi, wins a free kick. I mean, David, that's fair. I feel like it's really important that we get ourselves a win, though. I can't blame the pessimism. I get where it's coming from. We do know that from far previous seasons that Brendan can make changes at halftime. He hasn't been as good at that this season, though. Christensen shields the ball from Elise, and it goes out for a goal kick. Elise gets pulled down by Christensen. No free kick given. Kind of surprised by that. Had his arms all over him. Ball up in the air. Crystal Palace pretty well in control of it. Dewsbury Hall climbs over his man and gives away a free kick. Eze wants him booked. Harsh. That's harsh. But yeah, I think that's pretty fair. We are kind of second to everything. Palace coming forward again. Schlupp finds Zaha again in space in the penalty area. His cross is blocked. Madison on the ball, but he loses out. Zaha regains possession. Ball cleared. And Tete has some open space. Leicester City look to counter. Up against Mitchell. Plays it back. Madison. Poorly placed pass from Madison there, and it's out for a throw-in. And yeah, we've given Wilf a lot of space. Far more than we should give a player of his caliber. Daka makes a decent tackle on Doucouré there, but Madison's not able to collect the loose ball. Ward plays the ball forward, and now Palace look to break. Eze. Edward. Elise outside of the penalty area. Mitchell. Zaha into the penalty area. Cross is blocked. Corner kick. That's not a bad call. We really have been being outplayed in the midfield. I think Papi Mendy might be able to help solve that. I think one problem with that, though, is that we've been seeing a lot of aerial duels, and we need bigger players in there, and Mendy is quite diminutive. So he might help us control it more on the ground, but he definitely wouldn't help us keep it in the air in the midfield. Corner kick played in. It's a lofted out swinger. Headed on towards goal. It's dangerous, as Edward had a chance to get onto the end of it there, but he doesn't, and it's wide of the goal. One thing I will say, though, is that if the roles were reversed, I feel like a lot of us would be saying that this game was just calling for like a smash and grab goal for the opposition. They're wasteful with their chances. They haven't created like too many super clear-cut chances, barring the two saves by Everson. The fact that we hit the woodwork once already, we could smash and grab this. Dewsbury Hall. Oh, absolutely skins Ward. Low cross into the penalty area, goes off Matt Barnes, finds Daka. Good tackle from behind, though. But a poor pass. It's now with Tete. He's getting muscled over, though, and the ball is cleared. No free kick. Yeah, David, for a quick score update, yeah, we've missed a lot of goals in the Brentford match. 2-2 as it stands right now at the Amex. 0-0 Arsenal Leeds, 0-0 Palace Leicester, 0-0 Wolves Forest, 1-0 for Fulham at Bournemouth. Christensen's been booked. It's a harsh evaluation, but it's not necessarily wrong. I don't know that it's that we don't know what we're doing. Oh, Christensen just absolutely body checks Elise. You can't do that. That's why he gets booked. But yeah, I don't know that it's necessarily that we don't know what we're doing. We just can't get our plays to work. It's just not coming off for us. I don't think Spurs are going to take. I don't think they're going to take Brendan Rodgers. I'm not saying we're the better team. We have been second best to almost everything. Palace passing out from the back at the moment. Through ball, lofted, finds Schlupp, tackled by Castagna, out for a throw-in. Palace just holding the ball in midfield right now. Go all the way back to Guaita. Now that's fair. I haven't really seen any tactical game plan moving forward. I've definitely seen one from Palace, which is switch play to the wings, get it to Zaha, the corner of the penalty area. He breaks in, plays low cross. Vote fast on the ball. Finds Christensen. Back to fast. Ndidi, Christensen, quick back and forth with Mattis or with Dewsbury Hall. Back to Dewsbury Hall, and we're forced all the way back to Fass again. Yeah, we talk about a very poor pass by Ndidi. Gives it away to Schlupp. He breaks into the penalty area, lays it off. It's Elise. His shot gets deflected, and it's a corner. We're lucky that went wide. If that had gone towards goal, Iverson was stranded. Horrific from Ndidi there. This is going to be an in-swinger. They might play it short to Zaha here. Lofted in-swinger. Pings around the penalty area. Rebounded shot taken, and Iverson falls on the ball. It's not been a good first half from us. Fast to Ndidi. Harry Suter. But yeah, Graham, you're not wrong. We do need two up front. It comes down to that service to the players up front. If we're lacking in midfield anyways, put two players up front, lob the ball up to them. Two players have more of a chance to get it than one. Even the commentators here are just saying that like Dak has been absolutely isolated here. It wouldn't surprise me if we see a halftime change. Because even someone who's been stodgier and has wanted to change the team like Brendan Rodgers can't look at this first half and say, yeah, that was good enough, go out for the second. Barnes plays a low cross, and there's nobody to collect it, though. Palace counterattack is pulled back. I'm not sure why, to be frank. Is it for an offside? Must have been. Matters on the ball. Dewsbury Hall. Christensen. Yeah, Matters and Dewsbury Hall have both been closed down. And yeah, I take a smash and grab as well. We really had the chance to when Christensen hit the post as well. That could have spun some momentum. Barnes gets absolutely marshaled off the ball. And then that's Tete dispossessed. We cannot hold possession. Elise plays a one-time pass. Finds Eze. He breaks into the penalty area, gets past one, can't get past Dewsbury Hall, though. And Didi plays the ball for it. And that's a terrible pass from Wilf. Elise, cross comes in. Castagna nods it on, and it goes out for a throw-in. The defense is holding on. We've been poor in midfield, and the forwards have had no service. Palace come forward again. It's Zaha now. Gets past, plays a cross in, headed away by Suter. Schlupp. Tyreek Mitchell. Ball goes out, goal kick. This has been poor. Yeah, Tete really hasn't done well. He's been dispossessed a fair few times. He hasn't really been able to dribble through any of the Palace defenders. They've just knocked him down and taken the ball from him, and each time it's been fair. Sorry, Graham. I can give another for a quick timestamp update, 36, 39, 40, 41, 42, as Christensen gets around Elise. Continues running forward. His pass is intercepted, though. Guaita will collect. Yeah, he's been on the ball, but he just gets absolutely marshaled off it every time he gets it. I don't know about Dewsbury Hall. I think that might make our midfield a little too negative. I can back you on Tete and Ndidi. Elise, Anderson plays a cross in. Volley from Zaha. It's blocked and cleared away. And the commentators are calling it out again, rightly. Nobody's picking Zaha up. We've given him so much space from the first minute to now. We're not closing him down. Switched up play to Elise. He plays the ball in the penalty area to Eze. Gets tackled by Fass. And Elise will shield it off of Christensen, and it's out for a corner. Forest are beating Wolves now. In swinging corner. Nodded on by Fass. Headed away by Dewsbury Hall. And then a free kick off Doucouré. I understand the frustration. It doesn't feel like we really have a plan for this match. Arsenal are beating Leeds at the Emirates. Brennan Johnson puts Forest 1-0 up at the City Ground against Wolves. Ball pinging around in the midfield, and it's cleared away. The through ball looking for Zaha, hooked away by Fass, out for a throw-in. Iverson's really come into his own for this match. He's made some very, very good saves. 3-0 is a little harsh on Moore because that would basically assume that he wouldn't make a single save. Through ball that I believe was looking for Schlupp there. It just goes off his chest and it will be collected by Everson. And Castagna gives the ball away now. Edwards' shot's blocked by Fast, and it's another corner for Crystal Palace. "19 attempts, 4 on target for Crystal Palace, 0 for Leicester." Palace's 7th corner. Outswinger. Headed away by Ndidi. Collected on the outside by Eze, and he mishits his strike, and it's well wide of the net. I want to keep backing Rodgers to the end of the season, but I admit that it's difficult because I don't just want to say that anyone would be better, because we do still need like a high caliber manager, and it'd be tough to get one with our pull that would still also be forward looking for the future, because I don't want us to just settle into like a Sam Allardyce type or something like that, because that would basically be saying that like not only are we just looking to survive this season, but we're just looking to survive for like the next 3 seasons. I want us to be back challenging for Europe again. And yeah, 0 shots is really poor. And again, it comes down to the same problems that have plagued us all season. The midfield cannot get service to our strikers. We only play one up front, and he never touches the ball. Palace have definitely had more touches in the opposition box than Patson Daka has had in the entire game. Wilf Zaha on the ball now, dances past Castagna, makes a cross, cleared by Dewsbury Hall. Madison tussling with Doucouré. Schlupp now collides with Ndidi, keeps possession, finds Zaha again, who pulls. Zaha could be hurt here. I think he may have pulled something. The thing is, Lee, it doesn't make a difference. That could be Gary Lineker off the front for all I care. He doesn't get the ball. We could have Ronaldo and Messi in a front two with 12 players on the pitch, but if neither of them get to touch the ball, we're not going to score. And that's the thing. It's like I can't look at this match and say that I want us to keep playing like this, and that's what makes it so difficult. Yeah, they're just showing the replay on this, and it just looks like he overextends his leg. You drop like that after stretching like that, I find it hard to see how Zaha stays on the pitch. And at the same time, like George, I know you love Patson Daka. Let's also not act like when he has gotten the ball, maybe not necessarily in this game, but in other games, Patson Daka hasn't been to the standard that we need him to be at. And all of our strikers have had moments like that. I'd say Iheanacho has probably been our best out of the 3, but that hasn't made him a European challenging Premier League level striker. Vardy has been poor this season as well. And yeah, we definitely need to show some fight, but we really the player who has been is Victor Christensen, and he's just been looking reckless. C saying, how can anyone think things will change under Rodgers? This has been dreadful. The board have a lot to answer for because this blind faith will get us relegated. If we can keep this at 0-0 to halftime, it's a result. And James saying that Vardy's had his day. His legs have gone. Nacho's our best, and Daka still has something to prove. Wilf Zaha's day is done. And it will be, I believe, Andre Ayew coming on. Jordan Ayew. Sorry, Andre plays for Swansea. Nick, I'll share the link at halftime. They haven't shown how much injury time there will be yet. 2 more minutes. And I hate to say something like this, but we need to take advantage of this. We've just been handed a gift in Wilf Zaha having to come off. He was their biggest threat. He was the biggest nuisance for our defense. We have to capitalize on this. Yeah, 0-0 results will not keep us up. The counselor, something's got to change. And I remember, last season, 2 seasons ago, we were a second half team. We would come out in the second half firing. But this season, I feel like we haven't seen that at all. Do I think we will? Probably not at this rate. Do I hope we will? Absolutely. Free kick to Crystal Palace, and they just go directly at goal, and it's collected by Houston. And Christensen puts the ball right out of play. For a team whose tactics rely on passing, we're terrible at passing. And that's halftime. All right. I am going to step away for a few minutes. Just get myself some more water. I'm going to put that 5-minute countdown up. Once that countdown is done, I'm going to put the link in, and I would love for some of you to join me to chat for the for halftime. So like I said, I'll be back in 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. All right, thank you for holding on. I'm going to pop that link in the chat, and let's get some of you on screen and joining me to share your thoughts on this game so far. Michael, if you're ready, I'm going to add you in. It's not the best first half.
You know what? It's scrappy. We drew last weekend. We're not losing games in a row. So my thought is we're fighting. KDH has had a lot of the ball. I wish he would get on his right foot. Tete, can we send him back? Like, geez, what is going on with this guy? Yo, like that first game when we got him, we were like, oh my God, we got a Brazilian. Let's send his ass back. Jeez, he is not in the game at all. I don't know what Brennan's going to do at halftime, but changes are needed. I really want Mindy on. I don't know what Ndidi's got going on in his head, but put him back on the bench and bring him on in like the 80th minute next game, because what he's done this game, I mean, he's done something in the middle, but we are getting dominated in the middle. We can't control the ball. I think the stat is 20 shots for Palace, 0 shots for us, including 0 shots on goal.
We got blown in on goal.
Yeah, it's really bad. Well. I'm sitting here with a bunch of Palace fans, and I want to talk trash to them, but I have no trash to talk. It's just
Michael,
really bad today.
Short. Don't talk trash because it'll only bite you in the arse. Don't do it.
I know, right? I can't help it though. I'm 5 pints in. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. What am I gonna do?
Wow.
I've had to take the dog out for a walk at half time just to calm down, because this is. I don't know how much more I can take of this crap. I really don't.
It's been.
It's a must-win game, and they look like Michael said, 0 shots on target. Not even a ballooned over the bloody bar. It's not good enough.
100%. And I was saying that, like I mentioned in the first half, I want to back Brendan to the end of the season, but he makes it tougher and tougher for me every single match.
Yeah, it's really hard to be a Leicester City fan at the pub. Like, I don't even want to come here because people talk trash to me. So I need a goal to go in really bad so I could jump up and down on these and spill some beer. I really need a goal to go in, because what's going on right now, Man City fans are here and they had a big win today. There's a couple of Arsenal fans in here and they're having a good time. But Leicester, we need a goal, man. I'm not doing the watch-along. I want to be here, cheering my team on, and it's not happening today. I really need Brendan to take Wilf out, put Mindy on. I need Madison to get on the ball and do something. Just came off a really good international break where everyone's singing your praises. Yo, show us something.
You said you wanted to speak trash to people. Just speak trash at the Man City fans, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many goals they win by. They're not going to win the league, are they? Or
they're not going to win.
So you can always wind them
right?
up.
And I really like the collar on the Arsenal shirt. So, yeah. Our collars suck this season.
It's not a good collar. It's not a good collar at all.
It doesn't matter if the collars suck, we suck full stop this season. It's awful.
Yeah.
But Radio Leicester was saying Ricardo's warming up, so we reckon we're going to see Ricky P.
Okay, that's a good thing. We get Pereira in the game. Yeah.
For Tete.
Yeah, that's what they were saying on Radio Leicester.
We need something better going down the right-hand side.
But this is Brendan Rodgers. He's warming up now at half-time, but you know as well as I do, he won't bring him on until we've gone like 75 minutes at the earliest.
Which again, like I don't know what's happened to him between previous seasons and this one, because I was saying again, like 2 seasons ago, we were a second half team. We were a team that would go out in the second half fighting, and we would win so many matches in the second half. Now it just seems so toothless.
Yeah, well, that's because we lost, let's be fair, over the last couple of seasons, we lost some of the backbone of our team, haven't we? We lost Fuchs, Morgan, Hoof, Vardy, prime players that had a bit of fight from Schmeichel. Where's the leadership in that team? There's nobody. So I don't know.
I got a bunch of books. The owner here is like a big soccer literature enthusiast, so he put a bunch of books out, and so someone recommended this book. I'm going to read this.
What, instead of watching the second half?
Well, I was about to say, like, is this so you don't have to watch the football?
Yeah. I don't see any offense coming in the second half. The Palace fans are so loud at the stadium. We are getting no enthusiasm to the Leicester traveling fans. I know everyone's having a good day in London today, but it's just, I don't know. It's really hard to be a Leicester. Daniel Iverson's been really good, though. I want to say that. Daniel Iverson has been really good. He's made a couple saves that I think that Danny Ward might have let in, or we might have been shaky with it. But Daniel Iverson is, Mindy on, Nacho off. Or Nacho on.
I'd say
Daka off.
I'd say Nacho on for Daka. I'd say Ricky P on for Tete. And I'd even say Mendy on for Ndida.
Yeah. There you go. First window.
Because again, like that'll help us win more ground battles. We'll lose it in the air more. But...
He's terrified. He's supposed to help the defence the back line, and he looks terrified half the time. At least Mendy's got a bit of fight about him.
Right. Mindy feels like he belongs. Tete feels like he's brand new. So, yeah.
Knowing Brendan Rodgers, he'll bring on Dan Marty for Patson Daka and play a Marty up front.
Now,
you can put your hand on your head. You know I'm right. This is Rodgers we're talking about.
One question I do want to ask is, do we feel okay keeping Victor Christensen on with his booking? Because he has been very aggressive in his time.
Yeah, but I would. But, who would you rather have at left back, Luke Thomas or Christensen?
You're not wrong.
Yeah, I'm excited for Christensen playing right now. He's been off for a couple weeks and in the international break. So what he's shown this first half has been exciting for me. Sucks that he's got a booking, but I would definitely leave him on because we need that intensity. We need that fire. We need that fight. And it has to come from somewhere. God damn it. Madison is wearing the armband, and I don't know. We need something. We need goals. There's too many people here in the bar for me not to be having a good time. Like, seriously. Oh, wait. Kegs and eggs. Actually, it's a little corned beef hash I'm eating here. Little corned beef hash.
Eggs this morning.
Yeah.
Your stomach's going to be well off.
I was going to say, we need to get Ross on to see what kind of food he's having this morning as well.
Beans.
Ross will have
cheers, guys.
Salad.
Right,
okay,
cheers,
so it's Ricky P on for Tete. All right, cheers. See you guys.
See ya.
See you later.
All right, I'm just trying to get my stream up and running again. Yes, so we are just about to kick off the second half. So, Nick, I'm going to let you go as well, but thank you very much for joining me.
All right, mate. Take care.
Cheers. Can we make 10 subs at halftime? We have just kicked off the second half. Palace immediately trying to come forward again. For those of you at home, so my stream did hiccup a couple times, so I had to get jump back to the live time. If you want to try to sync up with me, I'm at 45, 25, 26, 27, 28, as it shows that Tete has come off for Ricardo Pereira. And now we're coming forward, Madison. And what looked like it could have been a foul there on Barnes, none given, and we win our first corner of the game. Ricky P for Tete is the only change to be made at halftime by either team. Jordan Ayew coming on for Wilf Zaha happened before halftime for Crystal Palace. I know it was some of the discussion we had at halftime. I'm not too concerned about keeping Castagna on the pitch because Zaha has come off. I think it was Zaha that was giving him a really hard time, but he's done well at managing the other forwards that they have, at managing Edouard, at managing Schlupp. Lofted outswinger comes in, looking for Fast, doesn't find him, goes over everybody, and it will be collected by Elise. Tries to get past Christensen, who puts a poke tackle in. Christensen marshals around Ward and wins possession. Ndidi, Christensen, Daka, Barnes on the wing. We're coming forward. Ball into the penalty area. Daka can't maintain possession, and it's cleared. Edouard fouls his man, Wout Fass, and it's a free kick to Leicester City on the attempted Palace counterattack. We do know that Vardy loves a good goal against Palace. I could see that being his 60-something minute substitution. Suter lobs that ball towards the wing, trying to find Barnes, does, but it forces Barnes to go backwards. Christensen, ball poked away by Elise, throw in. He wants to take it quickly. Throws it back. Nick saying, I don't want Tete to start anymore. I'd rather have Ricky P. Castagna or a youth player play there. Strong words, but again, a very poor showing from Tete. I talked about giving Daka more time when he was still starting in for us. I want Tete to have the opportunity, but I do think he needs to be a bit part player until he settled into the Premier League. Dewsbury Hall breaks in the penalty area. Lofted cross finds Madison. He pokes it, and it's a leg save by Guaita. Andy, honestly, the first half was terrible. We've looked better in this second half. We've actually created some chances. First half, Palace were all over us. We were losing all of the midfield battles. Iverson made some very good saves, but a poor first half from us. We're doing better so far this second half, though. Lofted ball finds Castagna. He's forced to turn around, though. He plays the ball back to Ricky P. He goes back to Suter. Palace aren't buying the bait as we pass it around the back. They're staying in shape. Pereira. Madison. Cross looking for Daka. Won't find him. Clearance finds Ricardo Pereira. Ndidi. I don't think Ndidi has made a pass yet today. I think he was trying to find Barnes there, but honestly, it looked like a defensive pass from Palace to the center back. Ayew up against Castagna. Forced to turn around. Plays it back to Doucouré. Switches play up to Elise. Up against Christensen. Ward. Eze, Ward. Eze, Elise. Shot blocked. Foul against Daka. Committed by, I believe, Anderson, and it's a free kick to Leicester City. Now, there are some strong words. Ghazal and Diabate better. And yeah, that's the thing. Like, we can't play any worse than the first half, but the thing is we could have played the same. We have at least started making some chances. Just need one. It's hard to say. We were poor across the pitch in the first half. Lofted ball that was looking for, I think for Madison, and it goes out for a throw-in off the Crystal Palace defender. Paul, when I put the link in, come join me at halftime. Join me at full time. Yeah, again, we just got ball in the midfield in the first half. It was really, really, really poor. A little bit of quick passing for Leicester City around the midfield right now. Ndidi goes back to Suter. Castagna. He's got space, and he's running into it. Low cross, immediately blocked. Pereira. Ndidi. Another poor pass from Ndidi. Ndidi's got to come off in the next substitution. He's had a really terrible game. 2-3 out of 10 from him. I get the need to have taller players on the pitch right now, but I'd rather have Papi Mendy right now. That's like, I'm looking at it on the pitch right now as Madison tries to collect the ball on a lofted pass, but it just bounces away from him and Guayi to collect. Madison is playing center midfield. Pereira is playing to his right, but they're kind of staggered. So Madison does sometimes drift further wide than him. But in terms of just base formation, Ricky P is playing on the right midfield. Daka gets barreled over. Fast to Pereira. Castagna. Back to Pereira. Back to Suter. Lofted ball looking for Barnes. Doesn't find him. Free kick against Christensen. .53 minutes, 18, 19, 20. We're going to take a quick look at the other scores around the Premier League. While Palace wait to take this free kick. Bournemouth have drawn level at Fulham at the Vitality Stadium. Brentford have taken the lead at the Amex. And Arsenal have doubled their lead against Leeds. I'm a little more optimistic for this second half because we have gotten through the lines once or twice already. Madison's chance against Guaita there, saved by the leg. Very, very good chance. And I would say probably the least confident a goalkeeper has looked facing a shot so far this game. A very poor pass back to Everson forces him to run very far wide. If Vardy's going to come on, he's going to come on very late in this game. Like I said, Ndidi's just been having a terrible match, like 2-3 out of 10. Dewsbury Hall does very well to maintain possession. He tries to play it through to Daka, and it's intercepted again. And now Palace look to counter. It's end-to-end stuff here. Pereira intercepts the pass towards Ayew. Castagna runs out wide and collects the ball so it doesn't go out for a throw, and he lays it back for Pereira. Suter. Ndidi. Christensen. I don't think I don't see your chats. I'm a little optimistic, but you've gotten me in the past. Lofted ball. Castagna. Pereira breaks into the penalty area. Takes a shot. What a goal! Ricardo Pereira comes on in the second half. Beats Guaita with a curling shot into the top of the net. And it is Crystal Palace 0, Leicester City 1. It's like the roles reversed from the first half. Ricky P collects the ball kind of at the border of the penalty area, and the defense splits and gives him so much more space than any defense of 4 players, 3 players should give somebody in that area. They try to close him down, but they still give him the angle to take the shot. He plays it far post across Guaita, and despite his best reach, he can't get high enough to get to the ball, and it pierces the back netting right at the corner of the top. And off the bench, Ricky P gives us the lead. A great, great finish. And that is exactly what we needed. Tommy, he just hasn't been getting supply. I don't really blame Daka for his performance here. But a great, great goal there. I think it's a little early to say whether or not we should sign Tete permanently. I am not convinced by him so far, but I know that some players really just take time to get settled into the Premier League. Mendy did. Sumare is still needing more time. Ooh, and Edouard with a very, very good chance there to level the play. Lofted cross comes in, goes up and over everybody. Edouard wins the ball ahead of Suter at the back post, but puts his header wide of the net. Fee with the 99p super sticker. We're remembering what it feels like to score goals again. Thank you so, so much. We always appreciate it. Like I mentioned, we're a bunch of us here are volunteers for the channel, so that money goes in towards helping us pay for the services that we use to do the live streams. It was a very, very good first touch. Ricky P made it look a lot easier than that play was. Patson Daka gives away a free kick for pulling on Eze's shoulder in a pretty dangerous area. It was a great, great goal. Palace setting up for the free kick. I want to take a quick look at the standings to see where those 3 points will put us. The table hasn't updated yet, but that will put us up to 28 points. We will jump ahead of Crystal Palace on goal difference and will climb up to 13th. 1 point behind Nottingham Forest should they hold on to win. Should both teams hold on to win. It's Eze and Elise both standing over the free kick. 4-man wall with Barnes lying behind. Eze to take the free kick. Oh, and it goes off the crossbar, off of Everson's back and into the net. And it's 1-1 immediately. It was a soft free kick, yeah. It very, very well placed, though. I don't want to take too much away from it. It was very well positioned. Down off the crossbar, off the back of Iverson, and into the net. There's still time left in this game, though, and we've shown that we can attack. You can't really take a better free kick than that, and that's really unfortunate that it goes off of Iverson's back. That may even go down as an own goal because that ball was not going to go in the net off the crossbar. It had bounced down and outwards. But let's get dug in. Let's get the lead again. Yeah, that ball does go down as an Iverson own goal. Luke Thomas is on the pitch now. He's on for Christensen. Forwards, yes. Iverson has been doing well for us in net. I don't really blame him for the fact that that ball went in off his back. He's made some really, really good, really important saves for us thus far in this match as well. I think he could have a future as a number one for us. Forwards, though, but again, like, does that come down to their service from the midfield or the fact that they're not good strikers? It's tough to say. Trying to get an update to my league table to see where we sit drawing. That would put us back down to 26 points, which with our goal difference would put us in 15th. 1 point out of the drop zone. Yeah, it was a very, very well taken free kick. Can't really argue with it that much. It was unlucky that it went in off his back. Patson Daka's offside. Dukure. He passes it. Anderson over to the wing. Ward. Elise's tackled. Leicester City 70% possession so far in the second half. Daka loses the ball. Under a lot of pressure, to be fair. Mitchell now. Lays it off to Ayew. Tackled by Pereira, who doesn't give away a corner and has that go out for a throw-in. I've been wanting to back Brendan because I don't want us to sack him and then appoint a manager who's going to be... I'm trying to choose my words carefully here. Who's not as ambitious for us. A manager who's more survival-based and mid-table-based than a manager who I think could challenge for Europe. But performances like we had in the first half here are pretty unforgivable. Lofted ball that was looking for Barnes is intercepted. Touches in opposition box. 36-3 for Crystal Palace in the first half. 5-0 for Leicester so far in the second half. It was a free kick, goes off the crossbar, off the ground, off Iverson's back, and into the net. You can't really blame Iverson for it. As Palace come forward again. Schlupp. Up against Suter, gets around him. Poked away by Ndidi, though. Castagna passes to Madison to Ricardo. Ricardo to Iverson. His first touch is a heavy one, but he gets the ball away. Ball pings around in the midfield. Up in the air, out for a Palace throw-in. Ball thumped forward, headed away by Luke Thomas, out for a throw-in. Yeah, you're not wrong. And you're right that the first priority is to stay up for now, but as well, like, I want to make sure that we're looking to the future. One of the Palace players is down with a split lip at the moment. Madison having some words with Brendan. Anderson talking with Roy. A replay on the goal for Ricky P, which is so well taken. A great pass from Castagna, and then the unfortunate goal that we conceded. He hasn't been bad. He hasn't. And I think that like our expectations of Luke Thomas really dropped recently. I'm quite happy to see that he's meeting expectations so far. Nick, I think that's harsh on Daka because again, he really hasn't had service. Ndidi's had a mare. I don't know why we haven't taken Ndidi off yet. We're getting into the 65th minute, 66th minute. That's Brendan Rodgers' substitution time. It was Doucouré, so he split his lip. He's going to have to get a new jersey, I'm pretty sure, because he's probably bled on the first one. No, we don't want it to go to the last game of the season. I could see that happening maybe next season now that we've got Christensen. We've got more players that can give us backup. Hopefully, Justin will be getting fit as well. All right, Palace take the throw. Goes all the way back to their back line. Out onto the wing, looking for Ward. Finds him. Finds Elise. He's up against Barnes. Eze. Mitchell. Ayew. Takes a shot. Easy one for Iverson to save. Iverson on the ball now. We're passing it around the back. Fast. Harry Suter. Madison. Ricky P. Ndidi. Thomas. Ball coming forward. Barnes plays it to Dewsbury Hall. He's up against Eze. Ooh, Eze does very well to tackle and prevent a corner. But the ball goes back to Dewsbury Hall. It's a poor pass from him, though. And Palace can now look to counter. They don't really have players forward, though. And Harry Suter commits the foul that he has to. He pulls down Edouard, stops the break. Looks like he'll get booked for it. Whew. I'm going to take your joke literally for a minute. I'm fairly certain, at least football-wise, all of the teams that are that play in New Jersey are called New York because it makes them more money. Like, I think the New York Red Bulls play in New Jersey. I think that's the only one. Nick saying, I think you're wrong. Daka hasn't been in game at all and loses the ball when he's on it. Nothing to do with service. This annoys me because everyone says Vardy had a nightmare, but with Vardy, it's a case. I say the same thing about Vardy, to be fair, as well. I blame a lot of the problems with a lot of our forwards on a lack of service. I'll call them out when they fail to finish chances that are given to them, but like, when has Daka in this match had the ball in a space where he can take a shot? Similarly, Vardy gets the same problems. I think you can also attribute some of that to maybe they aren't running into places where they can get the ball. But I think it's hard to place the blame on Daka without acknowledging the lack of service that he's been getting. And the same thing applies to both Iheanacho and Vardy on top of that. For what it's worth, Luke Thomas has been all right since he came on. He brought him on, I believe, when we conceded the free kick. Fass, Thomas, Barnes. He's forced to pass the ball back, and it goes to Fass again. I was going to say, like, he's not been bad. Harry Suter. Offside against Palace. Ndidi. Dewsbury Hall. Thomas. It was a terrible, terrible first half. Lofted ball trying to find Daka. tries to find Madison. He gets shoved over. And then I'm not sure who it was that did that. I think it may have been Gahey, who then falls on top of Madison after as well, right onto the back of his head. That's worrisome. Yeah, it was Gahey. Oof. I'm surprised that wasn't given as a foul. High arm into the face and then falls on top of him afterwards as well. Commentators agree with me as well. Saying, quote, if that's not a foul, I don't know what is. Iheanacho for Daka. I don't really know that that's going to fix anything. Indeed, he's still on the pitch. Gahey clears the ball. Finds Ayu. Pereira pokes it clear. Throw in. Yeah, I don't know how it's I don't know how it wasn't a foul. Oh, Palace with a very dangerous chance there. Shots blocked. And now Leicester look to counter. Madison to Barnes. Fast to Ricky P. Ricardo's pass is intercepted. He comes in and makes a tackle, though. Castagna collects. We come forward. Madison. Out wide. Barnes. Up against Ward. Crossed. Collected by Guaita. Our form is so strange. We'll go on a winning streak and then we lose 5 in a row. We're inconsistent. But we're consistent in our inconsistency. Ball's overcooked. Dewsbury Hall can't collect. It's out for a Crystal Palace throw. Carmen, good to see you tuning in. It's been a better second half, but what an awful first half it was. Scott's having to go at Brendan, Ward, and the refs. Again, Ward had periods where he was doing very, very well. He's also just so inconsistent. Did all right for Wales. I don't think VAR can intervene for something that would just be a free kick or a booking, unless it would have been a penalty or a dismissal. And I can see why they, even though he was the last man, I can see why they wouldn't call it denial of obvious goal-scoring opportunity because Guaita was so close to the ball. Lofted ball looking for Iheanacho, but he's well shielded, and it'll be collected by Guaita. Tyreek Mitchell. His pass is poor, and it's out for a goal kick. And another poor pass from Ndidi goes out of play for a throw-in. How many is that now? The Ricardo change was good. Iheanacho for Doc. I mean, I feel like we all could have seen that coming. I don't know why he hasn't substituted Mendy for Ndidi. Mitchell. Cross comes in, headed away. Still with Palace. Eze on the outside of the penalty area. Long shot taken, parried away by Iverson, and it's out for a corner. It's long periods of nothing. Not in this match, though. Ndidi's been really, really, really poor. 7 wayward passes. In swinging corner, headed away. Volleyed well wide. Goal kick. Vote fast as we play the goal kick short. We're not 2-1 down yet. I'm hoping that we can see a return to form from Ndidi, but we just aren't this match, and we have to take things short term at this moment because we need to be picking up points. Lofted through ball, Madison in the penalty area. He's offside. Oh, free kick Palace. Hayu up against Castagna. He's turned around, passes it back. Now Mitchell. Ayu. Forward ball finds Mitchell into the penalty area, parried. Ward will collect outside. Elise now. Getting closed down, passes back to Ward, now to Eze. Eze cuts round, crossed off of Fass, cleared by Ricardo. Ball again pinging around. Ayu plays it to Schlupp, to Mitchell. Edward turns and falls. Palace want a penalty. They're not going to get one. And the ball goes all the way back to Guaita. So not the most amusing one. Pass intercepted, and Ndidi, that's 8. That's 8 on our Ndidi tracker. Terrible through ball towards Iheanacho, easily intercepted. Anderson on the ball. Lofted. Finds Ayu. Cuts round. Shoots from distance. High and wide. Craig saying that Bournemouth are winning. Yep, they have taken the lead at the Vitality Stadium. So as the results stand, that would put Bournemouth on 28, which would drop Everton into the drop zone, and we would be 16th out of the drop zone on goal difference. Ball goes all the way back to Iverson. Fass. Ndidi, Fass. Suter. Back to Iverson. Free kick, Leicester City. Booking for Eze. Yeah, we are still not in the drop zone yet. It feels like after we took that goal that the free kick was given away so cheaply. And we were so unlucky that it still went in. Substitution for Palace. Schlupp is coming off. I believe for Will Hughes. Yep, Schlupp for Hughes. Ndidi on the ball. Through ball that was looking for Barnes, doesn't find him. Doucouré. Through ball to Ayew is intercepted by Suter. Castagna nods it on. Madison back to Castagna, and Leicester City come forward. His cross is intercepted, though. Will Hughes on the ball now. Ayew. Ndidi makes the tackle. It's out for a Palace throw-in a dangerous area. Throw-in is taken. It bounces outside the penalty area. And Mitchell pokes it out of play, and it's a Leicester City throw. So, yes, as the table stands, Leicester City would be in 16th out of the drop zone by having a 9 better goal difference than Everton. Push Suter up front and go route one for the last 10 minutes. We are now in the last 10. We're in the 82nd minute, 27, 28, 29, if you want to get synced up. As a lofted ball that was looking for Iheanacho, he's not going to win it, though. Doucouré plays it forward to Eze. Eze wins a free kick, and Dewsbury Hall gets booked. Yeah, he's just all over Eze there. Has Iheanacho touched the ball yet? I think he's had the ball a couple times, but again, like it was off of long through passes, and he's trying to take his first touch under pressure. Oh my goodness! The free kick goes up and over everybody. And I think Iverson paws it wide of the goal. He may not have even gotten a touch to it, and it just drifts wide. Shaky stuff. He does get his fingertips to it, and it's a corner kick to Palace. Out swinging corner from Elise. Nodded on. Out. Goal kick. So Forest now drawing, apparently. So that would mean Wolves have drawn level? Yes. Daniel Podence scores in the 83rd. Anderson wins the header off the goal kick. Hoofed away by Suter all the way to Guaita. Ball goes out of play on a pass to Ayu. It's a throw into Leicester City. We've got 5 minutes left in this game. Iverson to Suter. Lofted ball, trying to switch up play to Barnes. Or to Dewsbury Hall, who does find him. He gets knocked over by Ward. No free kick. Another substitution. Edward coming off for Mateta. I do believe we could smash and grab this game late, but I don't know where it's going to come from. Doucouré. Ward. Ball goes all the way back. Gahey. Hughes. Back to Gahey. Barnes. Dewsbury Hall. See, I'm not having that. I'm not having we have to accept relegation. I'm not accepting relegation until we are in the drop zone on the final day of the season. Until we're mathematically down, we're not down. Sadiq, the scoreline is always in the bottom corner right there. Iheanacho on the ball, gets dispossessed, regains the ball, gets pulled down, and that's a free kick. And surely that's got to be a booking for Gahey. It is. I mean, I doubt that Rodgers is going to stay on after this season. I doubt it. I'm not saying I'd be pleased with the draw. I thought as soon as we scored that goal that we should have gone on to win this game. We were the worst team in the first half, but we had turned the momentum at the start of the second. We could have and should have held on, but we gave away a very cheap free kick. Madison to take the free kick. Chipped into the penalty area. Ricardo Pereira collected off the clearance, crosses it in, headed away. And a free kick to Palace. And a booking for Ndidi for that. Ridiculous. The refereeing's not been great. Why there wasn't that foul on Madison earlier in the match will be lost to the sands of time. Mateta pushes over Pereira, and that's a free kick. Into the last minute of regular time. I wish we'd played better, especially because the players looked good on international break as well. Sadiq, again, the scoreline is right there. It's 1-1, right here. Ricky P takes the throw, and we got 20 seconds left in regulation time. I don't yet know how much added time there will be. Iheanacho having some words with Gahey. Gahey manhandles Iheanacho. Iheanacho pushes over Gahey. 4 more minutes. We got to pull a goal out of this game. Ndidi plays it wide. Thomas is forced to turn around. Back to Ndidi. Madison has to play it back to Fass. Suter. Ayew. Hughes. Ayew. Suter gives away a free kick, pulling on the shirt of Ayew. It's Elise standing over it. Cross comes in, goes over everybody, out for a goal kick. Two minutes to go. Touches in opposition box, level in the second half at 6-6. Palace take the throw. Through ball finds Ayew. Cross, headed, volleyed by Mitchell, and it's over. Between those two chances, there's no reason why Palace should still be. Mitchell and Mateta both throw away that chance. Nodded onwards. Leicester looking to come forward. Madison has no help, though. Ayew coming forward. Round the back of Ricardo. Round Ndidi. Through ball. Finds Mateta, who beats Iverson. 20 seconds from time. I don't think he was offside. I don't think so. I think it was his turn. He didn't drop the shoulder until he had the ball. What can you say? What can you say? Yeah, he's well onside. Suter plays him on. shambles. And that's full time. I'm speechless. I'm actually speechless. Absolutely terrible. Taking a look to see where this puts the final standings as the matches wrap up for this weekend, or for Saturday at least. Live league table, we are 18th. We are officially in the drop zone. Yeah, honestly, we were good in the second half, which is what frustrates me. Anyways, I'll be honest, I was going to put the link in at first, but I think it'd be good for us to save our opinions for the aftermath show, as I'm sure that Jamie will definitely want some good engagement on that. And to be honest, yeah, like I'm kind of speechless, so I don't really know what to say if I have any of you on. So I think I am going to wrap up the watch along, but I'd like to thank you all for joining me. I know you may not have enjoyed the game, but if you enjoyed the watch along, please give it a like. Please subscribe to the channel. Helps us grow, helps more people see our content. And as well, I hope you tune into our other shows through the week. Please tune into Jamie's Aftermath show. Share your thoughts with him there. And I'll see you for the next match.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everard's, Pucka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hologram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newbie & Co. Estate Agents. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.